Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, people from TikTok. Hello, people from Google Land, Yahoo Land, YouTube Land, and all the other lands. Instagram, Twitter, and the names go on and on and on. So anyway, I am here reporting after we had a terrible situation here in Texas. Terrible, 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 terrible. The lights went out, the water went bad, no water flow, no water in many cases, no water in many cases, bad water flow. And in all three cases that I'm mentioning right now, poor water outage was the water got contaminated. The good news is that the San Antonio water system was able to send out a bulletin to all media outlets that are mostly available, including the radio, where it said not to use the water, that some of the water was contaminated, to boil it. And that was due to the power outages. That was the explanation of the San Antonio water system, that the pumps, the tanks, and many other parts of the water filtration and water cleaning process did not work because of the lack of electricity. So we go back to ERCOT, that board of the grid that oversees the grid, the independent body. Now I just want to say that ever since George Bush, who is still alive, God rest the soul of the senior, but ever since George Bush became governor of the state of Texas, he went downhill. I mean, the guy is cursed. There's no other way to say it. I don't know why he went into Iraq. Nothing that he said was true. Nothing that his people said was true. No evidence was ever found. No, I mean, the motto of the Missouri people, the show me state, he didn't show anything to demonstrate that it was beyond a doubt. At least Jesus Christ showed his wounds to Thomas, which was doubting Thomas, who came up with the show me part. And that was palpable proof beyond any reasonable doubt or any doubt whatsoever. Yet George W. Bush, culprit in all these killings, and he's fancy-dancy over there in wherever he is, in that ranch of his, fancy-dancy over there, and he has no remorse, and Dick Cheney has no remorse over the many deaths that are under his belt, who he is responsible for. Whether he likes it or not, he is responsible for all those deaths. The water deal, black water people that assassinated, that's all part of his watch. You know, it's not like he didn't know none of this shit. No, he knew everything. He knew everything. I mean, I doubted if people like those don't know anything. That's why the Trump man was so egotistical and so pompous on his presidency, because he knew everything. He had information coming on so-called top secret, and he had information coming in which was not top secret, but whatever it is, he was being informed constantly of things that were happening in the country, one way or the other, with some special key people, some key groups, some other groups, but you know, and they all play the blaming game. So here we have Gregg Abbot and his sidekick, the lieutenant governor, and the, what do they call him? AG, Attorney General Paxton. I mean, you take them and mix them all together and you don't come out with nothing good. Now it behooves Gregg Abbott to get rid of Paxton. He's a disgrace to the organization, period. No double talk on that. He's a disgrace to the organization, that Paxton guy. whatever he is, whatever he has, whatever his heritage is, whatever his linkage are, whatever his father, mother, brother, sister, kin, folks, anything linked to him, whatever they have, he should be gone. Gregg Abbot should call for his resignation. I call on Gregg Abbot to call for his resignation. And Gregg Abbot, Ironside, I think Raymond Burr was a better Ironside than he is. He is no hero. His points are coming down as fast as rain comes down. I mean, he's plummeting like a dead weight. He has accountability to respond to. This ERCOT business, he should have known. He's the governor. If I was the governor, I would know. Let me put it in those terms. You know, some people, like the Trump man said it to a reporter, do you want to be president? And the reporter choked. I would not choke. If he would have said, you want to be president, I would have said yes. And I could do a better job than he does. With Gregg Abbott, I could do a better job than he does. Period. No double talk and no BS. I can do a much better job than Gregg Abbott could do any day of the week, twice on Sunday. That's how certain I am of my position. I had some money, folks, some people who will be willing to back me up financially. I go right after him, right after the Ted Cruz guy, another guy who's a dingbag. He has no face. He has no honor. He betrays the people of Texas, and the people of Texas says, hurrah? Are you kidding me? People of Texas that are hearing this video, are you kidding me? You're saying hurrah to Ted Cruz and to Gregg Abbott? What's wrong with you? I'm a Texan too. You know, I'm not somebody who came in here out of nowhere. I grew up here. And before George Bush, things were going pretty smooth, and things were being pretty well under control. Once George Bush came, then followed Rick Perry. I don't know, maybe Gregg Abbott followed after that. I forgot who the next guy was because I had to leave the state because for a job. But look, I come back to my state and it's a shamble. It's crap. What's wrong with the people here? What's wrong with the people in Houston, in the Beaumont area, in Alpine, in El Paso, in Dallas, in Fort Worth, in Austin, in Arlington, in Lubbock? What's wrong? You know, I've been through all this place that I named. I've known them. I've seen them. And you guys are telling me that you guys voted for this crap to be frozen, to be underneath cold weather? I mean, it was pretty bad. The good news is it wasn't as bad as Minnesota, because I've been in Minnesota. I've been in Wyoming. I've been in Utah. And I lived in Iowa. And cold gets below zero. And that's speaking in Fahrenheit. I'm not saying 0 Celsius. No, 0 Fahrenheit. So can you imagine if ERCOT and their bozos and the governor and his bozos would have happened in a state like Iowa or in a state like Minnesota? Thousands of people would have died if we would have hit below zero, like it happens over there in Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska, North and South Dakota, you know, all those states, Montana, all those states, man, they suffer a below zero level of coldness. And are they going to be freaking out because there's no heat? Of course they are. So do they expect reliability on their electric grid and electric companies? Of course they do. Do they expect excuses? No, they do not. Especially When you have a whole year to plan, and you have the budget to buy, and the federal government is willing to chip in, and the state government is willing to step in, and you guys don't have the equipment, don't have the resources, and when they offer you resources, you can't get them because you don't have the capacity. FEMA comes and says we got generators and you can't plug them in. Like, what's up, ERCOT people, Governor Abbott people? We have an energy department here in the state of Texas under the governor. And what's the energy department doing? Are they playing railroad with the railroad commission people? What's the energy department doing? Are they going out whining and dining all the oil companies over there in Midland, Odessa? Is that it? Is that what's happening? Because I don't see, and then price gouging. Oh, the governor said, oh, there's not going to be price gouging. There's price gouging on right now. And there's no mercy because people are paying outrageous bills because they were buying wholesale, and now it's because it's wholesale. Now they're stiffing them. Is that just? I mean, is that right for the Republicans? And I'm going to throw in the Republicans because that's what this state is noted for. We're noted for being Republicans. We're noted for doing the right thing. We're noted for having conservative values. We're noted for being Christians. We're not known for being self-righteous, are we? Or self-conscious, are we? Or are we noted for hating? Are we? Do we like to hate people? There's groups here in the state of Texas that want to succeed the union. I think even Gregg Abbot said it once in a comment that he did with the press, the Dallas Morning News. Succeeding from the union. Go ahead, Gregg Abbot. Succeed from the union. See where that puts you. See where that puts you, Gregg Abbott. And the mayor here in San Antonio, where's his lobbying? Where's his effort? I don't see the mayor here in San Antonio going around looking for places for people to take shelter, to give foods, asking for people. And then you got the Department of Human Services, Health and Human Services here in the state of Texas with a commission up there in Austin that says, oh no, you got too much money. What are they talking about? What is too much money? Of course, the Trump man lowered the base. And once you lower the base in an index, of course it's going to lower the amount once you multiply it together. So you got a lower amount. And of course the poverty level has lowered. Now, is that truly eliminating poverty? Or is that just disguising a smokescreen that poverty is being eliminated by lowering the standard of where the poverty lines is drawn? That's the questions. That people talk about the Trump man. He did this, he did. I don't see he did a lot of things. He said a lot of things, but he didn't do a lot of things. I read in the news and comment from the North Dakota people. That pipeline was already shutting down even before Joe Biden became president, way before Biden became president. And did Trump say anything? No, he didn't. He's not going to say anything. Ohio, wasn't Ohio supposed to get a lot of jobs? And a lot of companies were supposed to come back from China, from Mexico, from Argentina, from Brazil. They were going to repatriate here into the U.S. and they're going to set up shop back over there in Ohio, Michigan. Are you guys booming with prosperity over there in Chicago? I mean, in Ohio? Are you guys booming with success over there in Pennsylvania? The Republican Congress or caucus or Republican Party group in the Senate has no shame. They have no honor. A few of them do. The Mitt Romney man at least has honor, and a couple of other ones. Other ones flip-flop around, like the Collins lady from Maine, Susan Collins, shameful woman, backstabbed her people over there in Maine. I mean, if my video is being heard, I want you to hear what I have to say about all these people. How about Alex Jones, the Infowars guy? Why is he Free Willy and Free Nilly? How come the FBI hasn't looked into his case when he was at the front of the line of the instigation on January the 6th? He was with a bullhorn yelling to the people to go and hit the Capitol and do exactly as Donald Trump had said. Take it by force. Trial by combat. You know, where is he? He's still in his InfoWars, throwing out all this conspiracy theories and misinformation. Where is he, FBI? You don't have Alex Jones, and it's filmed. It's documented in film, in radio podcast. His crew was there with him. And his crew, the other half of the crew was in the studio where he filmed InfoWars. And they were corresponding with each other. And they picked it up, a third podcaster. And there were independent people there filming the whole riot, because it became a riot. It didn't go into being a protest march, peaceful protest march. Look at me. People who are seeing this video are looking at me. I walked a protest march with the freedom fighters back in Martin Luther King's days. I know what a silent protest march is, and I know when it gets infiltrated by government agents. And what did Trump say? They were Antifa? Antifa would have never got into the Freedom March, because we were exactly doing what they respect. But the Trump man wasn't doing things that they respected, because they knew that he was a fascist individual. He had a high inclination for fascism or nationalism, which extrapolates to a fascism. Adolf Hitler was under the national or nationalistic party, social nationalism also called. So they got three names that people go by if you look at the history books. Nationalistic party, social nationalism, and nationalism. All three mean the same thing. They're synonymous among each other, and they ended up being the Nazi outlet, the Nazi movement, the Nazi execution of that Nazi program. They eliminated 6 million Jews plus, and the goal was to do more throughout Europe. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get into Russia, but that was part of the war, a world war, where we became part of that war. And many countries were part of the Allies, and some countries, not all of them, but some countries were part of the Hitler Nazi movement, and they went down. But that was part of the whole deal that was going on. And I'm still getting used to this taping ahead of time and then downloading into the computer. So please excuse me for that if the camera vibrates or it wobbles. But I try to keep it steady. So anyway, I'm talking about all this because it really needs to be addressed, when instead of having solutions, it's creating problems. The Republicans, I have not heard a solution, a very logistical solution, a logical solution, should I say, not logistical. I meant logical solution to what they propose. And they always are undercutting the people. Why did that senator, I forgot his name, said that $11 an hour, the minimum wage, when most of the people are saying $15 an hour? Why does he undercut us? That's what he's doing. He's undercutting us. We, the workers. I look like this because I work. I'm not. I don't get any help from the state because I earn too much money, so they say, which I don't. I wish I did. I wish I did. I had a healthy paycheck like one of those congressmen, at least the Congress people. I mean, I would feel happy and joy and jumping with joy if I had the salary of a senator. I'd be happy as a lark. Would I need any help? No, I would not need help. On the contrary, I would be helping others because they need it. But do these senators help anybody? No, they don't. They help themselves. And the Kentucky people, I hope the Kentucky people learn that their senator that they voted in is not working for Kentucky. He's working for Mitch McConnell, for himself. And he's helping Donald Trump, believe it or not. Because Donald Trump is playing the Edgar Hoover game. He's blackmailing those senators. That's what Edgar Hoover did. He was the first director of the FBI. He lasted almost 30 years or 30 years plus in the FBI as director, and nobody could kick him out. He was a permanent there, a dictator there. He did some nice things. I mean, I'm not going to knock his accomplishments, but he had dirt on every congressman or on most of the congressmen and most of the senators, or all of the senators. He had dirt on them, and he blackmailed them. Donald Trump is doing the same thing. Donald Trump is blackmailing each one of those senators because he has dirt on them and he has threatened them. He's no tough guy. He's a bum, that Donald Trump. He's an authentic bum who has threatened the senators and has threatened other people and he's a good marketer, I can say that, because he's using his name as a marketing tool to brand his own self as the one who can make it happen. But I hope that's working out for Michael Lindell, the My Pillow guy, and I hope that's working for Rudy Giuliani. I mean, conspiracy theories can only go so far. They are prone for extinction. So the QAnon guy, he has to keep feeding it or it'll extinct, it'll disappear, because longevity belongs to the truth, and the truth will set the people free. The truth will set me free, the truth will set you free. So we must look for the truth. And if we're going to look at it in the evangelical people, I would say beware. Because the evangelical people who are up there on the pulpit have a forked tongue. You think they are preaching the true gospel, but they're not. They're preaching their gospel, using the Bible as a weaponized tool to get their message across to you. This was already done. This is nothing new. This is a rerun of what happened in the 1900s, 20s, 30s, even 40s, into the 50s. They used to call them the Southern Baptists, the Protestant belt. And they would preach hell and damnation, which that's what they're doing right now. I'm just saying it in simple terms. Hell and damnation. they decorate it in so many ways, but they condemn people. They instigate hate. They don't they, they don't they don't they don't use the solutions that were given by Christ himself, and they don't use the solution given by the prophets themselves. They don't use the solutions that were given by the disciples themselves. On the contrary, they use everything that the enemy used against the people of Israel in a disguised manner, in a very tongue-twisting way, that it makes the devil look like a kindergarten kid. That's how these preachers are. So you got to be careful with the church, how it is right now. I mean, one thing is to preach the gospel and to preach the Bible, and another thing is to use the Bible as your weapon to get your message across, not the message of God, but the message of the pastor who is behind the pulpit. And he will ask for donations after donations after donations. He'll pass the bucket 3 times. So you guys can donate, and that way he gets more money and he gets more riches. The bigger the church, the more people go, because they're gullible and because you guys don't think. Hey, wait a minute, you guys got to think. You know, the Protestant movement began with the 99 Theses that Martin Luther nailed on the Vatican door. And the cornerstone of those 99 Theses was that people should read the Bible. People should stand for themselves. People should have a relationship with God. It's not the church that creates the relationship. It's the person himself that creates a relationship with God. Just think about that. And right now I'm not quoting any scripture, and I'm not going to quote any scripture because this is not a sermon, this is not a preaching, and this is not a lesson. And you can look at many of what I say, it's in the Bible. I mean, you would have to thumb through the whole Bible to get some of what I'm saying. But that's exactly true. What I'm saying is it's the God-given truth. So it's the golden rule, which is in the four Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and in the letters, the epistles of Paul, John, and James. They all thread, even in Revelations, it threads down to the same thing. Love your God with all your heart and with everything you got, and love thy neighbor like yourself. So if you don't like yourself, then you're not going to love your neighbor, and you're going to have hate against everybody. But if you learn that by loving yourself, you can love others as well, that makes it all more gracious. It creates peace, it creates prosperity, and it creates abundance. So that's where everything comes in. It doesn't come in because you are more pious. No, it doesn't come in because you happen to have a good job. No, it happens to be where the golden rule is applied. That's bottom line. So recapping, before everything comes to an end, because I get censored in this shit. Sorry to use that word, YouTube. But everything I said is legitimate. I am not preaching any hate. I'm just trying to get people to think. And for you people who are listening to me, I ask you, please think, please meditate on everything I said. I might have said it in a hurry. I might have tried to run through it as fast as I could because I don't have the time on my side. But please, go to vote when you need to vote, and vote for the right candidate. Look at what we have right now, people. Look at what you got. A Josh Hawley who in Missouri, a Rick Pearson guy, who's the governor. Right? I'm still trying to come up to date to the new governor. Look at him. The governor won't say, "Hey, Mr. Josh Lee, I think you better resign." I mean, he can do that. He's the governor. He can say that to the senator of his state, which is Missouri. How come this guy is saying that things are wrong when the Missouri has the slogan of the Show Me State. He should learn from his own slogan, from his own state, to use the word show me. If he's going to accuse Pennsylvania for cheating and rigging the election, well, then he should go out and see the evidence. Show me. If he studied law, poor law school, they brought out a nutcase. People can pass exams. You don't have to be a genius to pass an exam or a pop quiz or anything like that, or to get a good grade on an essay. But it is hard to actually learn the material and be competent at that material that you're learning and try to apply it. But this guy doesn't seem to apply because he doesn't care. He believes in the radical right. In his head, there's a radical left, but he's part of the radical right. So he's on the extreme, and he accuses the people on the other extreme. So the other people in the other extreme don't care about him. That's a shame, He expects that the other people are going to care about him. They don't care about a hoot about him. But they do. They did highlight many people across the Democrats and the left middle, the left right. I said, man, this guy is not good news. He dishonored the government. He dishonored the people he represents. He dishonored the state of Missouri, a state that has honor, or that has a lot of honorable people who go to the army, go to the military, and fight for this country. And then you have a Josh Hawley who disgraces the state of Missouri, who happens to be up north and happened to be part of the South in the Civil War. So where's the honor? Where is the honor? I know Ted Cruz has no honor. John Collins has no honor. He's hiding somewhere. He never came out to say, I'm helping this. Beto O'Rourke at least came out on a little video saying, look, I'm giving out blankets, I'm giving out water, we're getting money, we're purchasing, giving out food. Where's that John Conley or Conray or whatever his name is? The second senator here from the state. Another one who's a shithead. He is another one who's a sad case. We need new people. We definitely need new people. And I'm willing to step up to the table if some of those financiers or people who have cash, Koch brothers or whoever, the oil companies. The only thing I can say to the oil companies and all those people because I am throwing my hat in the ring, and the only thing I can say, I don't promise you guys anything, but you guys can invest and I'll do my best. That's all I can say. But I do say to the people who vote, I will look after you. I will look after you. I will put the state first, meaning the people first, and then whatever I can do best for the other guys who invested, that's great. They can write off that contribution in their taxes. So that's what I'm saying. We need more people to be dedicated to the people. We need persons to be dedicated to the people here in the state of Texas and in all states. And people who are responsible on what they vote for. Some people, I don't know whether they're stupid. I want to say that. Hopefully it comes across smoothly. They're kind of dunderheads with respect to their positions when they know they're wrong. They know they're wrong. And then they get empowered by some of the corrupt people like Mitch McConnell and some of the old fogies, Lindsey Graham. and then the other old fogies up there in the Republican Party, the new Republicans that come in, they get all pumped up and they get empowered by this old fogies who's been there forever, and in the state that they represent do not kick him out. I mean, Lindsey Graham won again. I can't believe South Carolina is that stupid. The people in South Carolina. I mean, I'm sorry if that came out a little harsh for the population of South Carolina. This video, whoever sees it. But I'll tell you this much. What I'm saying is absolutely true. And if you believe what I'm saying, you will begin to get freed inside and out. Because all the lies and all the deception and all the smoke and all the mirrors can never, never give you the peace, the quiet, and the thrive to move into a more prosperous lifestyle than learning the truth. That will set your minds at ease. That will give you a new perspective. And you'll be able to motivate yourself to move up the ladder. None of this, I don't like the black, I don't like the Jews, I don't like this, I don't like that. All that hate can be channeled to something more productive. A lot more productive. Because I know that many of you in West Virginia, in all the Appalachian Mountains, Kentucky, Tennessee, I know you people are good people, honorable people, hard-working people. So you have the ability to turn your backs on hate and look forward to a better life and think of the golden rule. Love love thy God with all your might and all your heart and all your power, and love thy neighbor as you love thyself. That's the golden rule. And you'll find the golden rule in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And you can find it also in the epistles of Paul and John and James and Titus. Well, hopefully I didn't miss anybody, but if I did, I'm sorry. But I tell you, this is something to think about. Something to really think about, because this is not exactly something that you want to put to the side. No, I did a TikTok not too long ago with respect to ERCOT and to Texas. But again, I started out with that one, and it is true. Texas has come down in its now I'm going to use a Sunday word, in its modus operandi. It has come down. So how can they ask for a higher standard when they can't even stand up to a better standard as a state, as a political apparatus, as a legislative body? It's terrible. It's terrible. And the Republicans here in Texas think they're doing good. I don't see the good in the Republicans here in Texas. I walk around and I look at different places and I don't see that. I don't see the Republicans really coming out and saying, here we have this solution for you guys. Here we have this clarification part. Here we're going to look after the people who rent. Here we're going to look after the people who lease. Here we're going to look after the people who need a job. Where's that? The Republican Party is not doing any of that. Here we have created grants for people to go get a trade so they can get a better job. No, where's that impulse of the Republican Party here in Texas? There's none, absolutely none. And if they hear this video and they want to do it, they're going to do it all wrong, because they never had the idea, they never had the intention, they never had the know-how. It's going to come out wrong, just like George Bush ruined the state. And then Rick Perry didn't do any better. So, I mean, Think about it. Think about it. So I'll leave you with all that because before I get censored, I gotta go back to work soon. So I got a couple of hours of night sleep. You all take care. God bless you, everybody, and I'll see you soon.